Another quick video on sales calls, guys. So as I've reiterated over and over again, the best position to be in to kind of close a sale is to get on the phone. Now, when you're on the phone, it's really important that you deal with the prospect in the right kind of way. And one of the biggest kind of down points I've seen in a lot of people on sales calls, or like when you're having a strategy call, wherever it may be where you're trying to close, is when someone raises an objection. And when that happens, what I tend to notice in a lot of people is that their tone and the speed at which they talk all of a sudden changes. And that is because they get flustered. It's like getting smacked in the face. Like, it becomes very obvious for the prospect that they've rattled you when they've only raised one objection, whether it be the price or question about something about the service, or they're not quite sure, or they're not quite happy with something, and then that's your position to then try and close or reassure them about that point. If you make it very obvious that through your tone and the speed at which you talk that you're flustered, 9 times out of 10 you'll lose the deal. So in my advice, the best thing to do would be to make sure that you kind of have a clear cut response for pretty much any objection that person can have. Obviously, if you're offering a really good service and have great value, you should have covered all these things anyway. So you should have a really good, almost a script that you're only identifying the actual value and the kind of solution or to that objection, or kind of reassuring them about that objection. But if you're not pre-prepared, sometimes even if you have a decent response and you already know what the answer is, you can get flustered. And as soon as that tone and that speed at which you talk then changes, you quite often lose a sale, because the prospect will know it and they suddenly realize that there might be something awry or not quite right, and that's kind of your shot gone. So the more expert kind of sales calls or sales callers will always make sure that their tone is really reassuring. You're making the prospect feel very comfortable, and the fact that you're explaining your value is like very, very, very kind of clear to the customer, and you're really putting them at ease. If you're sounding flustered, it's not a pleasant environment for both parties, and like I say, that can really ruin the potential of a deal, even if your value is fantastic. So I know I keep harping on about sales calls, but this is the most important point. I know that the service has to be on point, and a lot of people hate sales, but ultimately you're running a business, there has to be an element of sales. If without the sale there's no money going into the bank account, and you're not going to pay your bills, and you're ultimately not going to go anywhere, so there's no point doing it without being able to do the sales. I'm not saying to be super cheesy sales, I'm just saying make sure that you have a decent response to any objections that might come up, and you're cool, calm and collected when those objections arrive, and you'll make that will make the calls vastly more effective. So any questions on sales calls or any other part of the marketing funnel, drop me a DM, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It means a great deal to me. Thank you.